What up? Thank you for tuning into Minorities Report. I'm Luke Anthony McDonald. I've got my guest,
Rob Mulholland.
pro comic Rob Mulholland. We're just here at a gig in
Stone.
I am stoned. I just watched him smash it like an OG.
Stop it.
Oh,
just doing my job, guys. Just doing my job.
Never had a rough gig, but no, it was a great joy to watch him work, man. Definitely. Yeah, welcome to the show, Rob. Thanks for coming on.
No, cheers for having me, man.
Yeah, one of the things with this show is we get pro comics on. We talk about like your festival shows and stuff like that.
Sure.
And I know you've got your own show that's on YouTube. So if you want to tell us a little bit about the premise of your show, then we'll go into talking about other general stuff.
Yeah,
feel free,
sure.
plug your stuff.
I will do. Yeah. I love a good plug opportunity early. I like it.
Yeah, no,
I've got a special on YouTube. It's called Too Big to Fail, and so if you just search Rob Mulholland Too Big to Fail, it's on there. And yeah, there's not a premise to it, man. It's just stand up for an hour.
Okay,
that's kind of the premise, because like every British comedian now has like. Most of them anyway have like a narrative or a theme or something they're exploring or some tragedy they want to talk about that makes you cry.
Your character arc, really good, tragic, yes.
You're not going to learn anything watching me. You're not going to like develop as a person. Like you're not going to like grow. You're not going to have you're not going to be like, oh my god, it was so powerful. Yeah. You're just going to laugh because like, fuck me, like there's enough shit that makes you cry. Like there's enough things that bum me out. I just want to be funny for an hour, and like that's what it is. So if you just like proper jokes, and like because none of the comedians I ever watched growing up had a sad bit or a narrative. Like Billy Connolly didn't have a narrative. like Richard Pryor's got stuff about like tragic things, but they're still just jokes always.
Richard Pryor was one of my favourites. My dad used to watch him a lot when I was growing up, and a lot of the sort of tragedy that I wouldn't even think about. I wasn't even aware of that because the story is so funny.
That's it.
And he's a guy from a working class neighbourhood,
and
that is a place where you have a lot of social problems.
Like working class and then some. Like his neighbourhood. Yeah, it's not like the working class that I came from. It's like I grew up on a council estate, but in a nice town in the north. It's like it wasn't like Pryor's upbringing was.
Yeah. He was raised in a brothel.
Yeah.
His dad was a pimp. His grandmother was a pimp. His mother was a prostitute.
Yeah.
But made him interesting.
Made him hell of interesting. I think he could have done with being about 10% less interesting. Maybe had a bit of a happier life. But he's. If we're talking about the greatest ever, then. If he's not in the conversation, I'm not having the conversation.
Sometimes I think with artists, loads of artists, whatever peak, whatever genre, so Richard Pryor, Amy Winehouse, people of any genres, loads of people who tend to hit like the peak of their genre. There's always some sort of tragic thing, whether it be drugs, alcohol, or violence. And why is it that these people always tend to thought of this is the pinnacle of art?
I think it's that sort of personality. If you've got that sort of like drive to like creative people, as we well know, like a lot of us are fuck ups.
Yeah.
And I think if you're like that extreme level of like genius, where you're like. You've got that level of depth, it's got to come from somewhere, and it always comes from pain. I've got on my wrist actually, I've got a tattoo, it's a Mark Twain quote, there's no humour in heaven. The whole quote is, the secret source of humour is not joy but sorrow. Right? Okay. It's like that's where funny comes from, right? And I can't speak for the other house, but I think it comes from there. But it's always from pain. It's turning horrible things into joy.
I like that tattoo. I like stuff like that. There was a tattoo I was going to get for years, and I put off getting it. And I think I was more of a morbid person when I was going to get this tattoo. There's a tattoo I was going to get. I think it's from the film The Seventh Seal.
Right.
I think it's an old like Swedish film. It's about Grim Reaper meets Night. You've probably seen the imagery. There's a famous picture. There's the Grim Reaper sat playing chess with a guy and he's a knight.
Sure.
And the premise of it is Grim Reaper, he meets the knight on the beach, he says, I've come to take your life. And the knight's like, let me play a game of chess.
That Bill and Ted.
Yeah.
That's what they're ripping off, obviously.
And he was like, if I can beat you at this game of chess, you can live. And he plays the Grim Reaper forever, and he can never beat him. You'll never get the Grim Reaper in check. And it was sort of like a metaphor that like the only universal truth is death. I think maybe I was a bit more of a goth when I was younger.
No, but like a lot of tattoos, I think, quite morbid. I think it's like there's something about the permanence of it.
Yeah, I've got evil clown.
Spooky.
Indeed.
I've got down there. It says nothing can kill me.
Show the audience.
There you go. Like you can't really see all of it. It's on a rose with like a banner underneath that says "Nothing can kill me." I've got a fucking banana up the arm. Somewhere here, a peacock.
Evil Elvis.
Oh Christ, yeah! You've got some creepy shoulders, isn't it, man?
I know. The ladies have told me that. Yeah, so man, how long have you been going in the game?
It's kind of complicated because I did my first ever gig when I was 18, which is 13 years ago now. But I did about 6 months of fucking around, like doing odd gigs when I was living in London at the time at uni. Did maybe about 20 gigs max, and then north and started taking it serious.
So I fucked it up. I stopped recording for a second, but I'll just patch it together. So I'm recording again.
Yeah.
So go again.
Yeah, no worries.
Minorities report. There's a technical error, but I'm continuing. I'm going to smash these 2 videos together. So
yeah. So I'll talk about it first. I'll do it from the top. So I'll make you fucking edit easy. Yeah.
So
first ever show was when I was 18, when I was at uni, when I lived in London. But I only did about maybe 20 while I was there. I didn't really know what I was doing, and I was just sort of dicking around, and it was fun for a bit, but then I sort of fell out of it. Then I always had that in the back of my mind, and I spent like a good, 6 years just working shit jobs.
Yeah.
And then it was always in the back of my mind, and then I found the flyer on the floor for Harrogate Comedy Festival, which was a couple of towns over from where I lived.
I'm familiar with Harrogate.
Yeah, well, I'm from a less posh town down the road. But then I went and did that competition, and then I just started taking it seriously, man. So yeah, I've been in it for properly about 8 years, I'd say. I think I've been full time for about 3 or 4 now. So like, it's been a good while now. Like, I feel like I'm starting to learn how to do stand up. I think I'm at that point. Like,
that's a very humble statement. Obviously, I just watched you slaughter it, but
yeah, but there's sort of levels to it. That's the joy of stand-up. What I love about it is there's always like you sort of constantly trying to get through a door, and when you open the door that you're trying to get through, there's another one on the other side. Yeah. There's always more to learn. There's always more to do, and like the more you understand, the more you realise you know nothing. And like there's so much.
That's the best thing about everything.
Yeah.
If you know that you know nothing, you keep studying.
Exactly.
You're never the master.
Because I would get bored if I could complete it. If I could finish it, I would do that, and then I get bored. But like because I feel like there's always development, there's always things you can do. And like whilst I'm not necessarily interested in doing like some narrative piece where it makes you cry, but you can still like if you look at like the depth of Pryor or like George Carlin. Or Louis C.K. before the incidents, but like Dave Chappelle, these comedians have like layers to what they're doing. And there's philosophy within them.
Definitely.
But you can always just expand your understanding as well, and like that's what stand-up, a lot of it's about.
Before I started doing stand-up, I used to listen to stand-up comedy when I was in the gym. So I'd have some of the people you've mentioned, I'd have their stand-up albums on my headphones on my iPod when I'd be working out.
Sure.
I'd listen to George Carlin and thinking about things. I was like, that is an interesting thought. The way the joke is made, he's took a concept that I already know and made me think of it in a different way and switched it around. And then that's like, there's a joke writing mechanism when I understand that. And I'm like, he's unlocking the secrets of words. I'm thinking differently. And I was like, I know we're a comedy nerd and that, but I'm sure a lot of people watching this are comedians anyway. What up, everybody?
What's up, open spots?
Indeed. I was like, if you haven't been to Stone before, where is it?
Staffordshire.
In Staffordshire. Maybe you'll come here and do a gig one day. Try and light it up.
Yeah, it's weird.
So yeah, so what's been going on at the moment, popular culture? The Fury Deontay Wilder fight.
Yeah, I stayed up to watch that. Yeah.
I didn't get to watch it till yesterday. I was gigging and I was doing something else.
I was lucky. I had a long drive back from a gig that I was on late at. I was at the Leicester Comedy Festival actually. I did a late show that didn't finish till half midnight. So by the time I'd driven back to Manchester, it was at 3 in the morning. The fight was starting in a half hour, so I just stayed up and watched it. And yeah, it was fucking great, man. I really enjoyed the fight. I really like Tyson Fury. I actually did an episode of my podcast about this today.
Okay.
Rob Mulholland has an opinion, if you want to check that out.
Check him out.
Push, plugs. But yeah, I did an
Plug
episode.
me on your thing as well, please.
Alright, come on in sometime, I fucking will. But yeah, I was, battled like Tyson Fury in the fight, and like, I really enjoyed the fight, and obviously Tyson Fury is a very divisive figure, because a lot of people are very angry about a lot of homophobic and anti-Semitic stuff he said in the past, but I don't give a fuck what a boxer thinks.
I said that. I said, I don't expect the heavyweight champion of the world to be the champion of progressiveness.
Yeah.
That is not what we're following
He's a traveller who gets punched in the head for a living. Like, what the fuck did you think he was going to think? He's not sat around thinking about intersectionality, is he?
Yeah.
Like, Right, and
how these things can come into every facet of life, and can we not just be entertained anymore? I don't want arguments sometimes.
I get it. If you're a gay boxing fan, and then you'd be like, fuck that guy. Like, I'm sure. And
I think potentially maybe a real gay boxing fan would be like, fuck that, he's the best. I don't give a shit.
Maybe like, it depends on the person. You can't generalise.
I don't know. We're talking about hypothetical people.
Hypothetical people that we have no idea about. But I do sort of feel that, and I think like he has a lot of positive things about him, and he's done a lot. Like his story is really inspiring, and coming back, like the way he talks about mental health, I think is really great. And I think it's a bit of a shame if we sort of ignore the good to focus on the bad. Like, but both can exist. Everyone wants to be, not everyone is a goodie or a baddie. And like, they can be both.
So with that sort of stuff, like if I do a long form show one day, I've got a bit of a narrative, but the narrative is in relation to this sort of unforgiving sort of cancel culture stuff.
Sure.
Everyone in everyone's life, everyone has made a mistake, been an asshole sometimes, done a bad play, something they didn't. You know what I mean? They didn't conduct themselves the best way. I was an asshole one time. And then if you were to treat everyone like that and ostracise everyone immediately, and there's no path to redemption. There's a Bob Marley song, which I love, Redemption Song.
I've heard it.
And it's about a pirate, and he's got slaves and stuff, and the slave is trying to, redeem his life and have a good life. But the pirate, I think, is also trying to stop being a criminal and be a good person and find redemption. And obviously, I'm an atheist, but within the Christian narrative, the notion is, you try and find redemption, try and turn your stuff around.
Yeah, sure.
So if you're not offering redemption to people who've done bad things, who are you offering it to? Do you know what I mean? Who's supposed to turn themselves around?
Yeah.
Should only people who have a squeaky clean, they've never said anything wrong ever, pass a security test, be given a platform.
And it's been interesting with all the response to obviously Caroline Flack's death was tragic, that she killed herself. She was sort of hounded by the media, and in the response to that, everyone was talking about be kind. This idea that should be kinder to people. The problem with that is though, the people we really need to be kind to are often pricks, right? Because they are, and often if someone's really mentally ill, they often act like an arsehole. And people who go on the internet and spout a load of bollocks, that's usually coming from somewhere, and they've probably been fucked up at some point. So if you really want to that's where the compassion needs extending, but that's where it's hardest to go to, and that's where no one wants to. No one wants to be compassionate to Katie Hopkins, but if she fucking kills herself, are we going to be sad? I mean, I wouldn't be, fuck her.
Do you know what it is? With this sort of stuff, with the whole be kind, and I'm sure we all know people with various issues in our own personal lives.
Sure, yeah. I'm a stand-up comedian, and I have loads of mentals.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if you want to put it like that, and the behaviour's tolerated some people and not from others, and there's not a general rule of thumb this is acceptable, this is not acceptable. This person has this views. And when certain celebrities die or big events happen, I see so many people ready at the keyboards, ready to jump. Someone they announced dead 30 seconds. I'm not about the jokes. I'm a comedian. You got jokes. Fucking line up the jokes. Whatever. But when it's a political stuff, do you know this person was arrested back in 1920? And I'm like, all right, mate.
Yeah, although I'm not doing that joking when people die. I've seen what happened to Ari Shafir. I ain't having any of that shit.
There was the Crips after him.
Yeah, man.
And Snoop Dogg's gang, the Dog Pound gang.
Yeah, man. But this is the thing with cancel culture. A lot of the time, is I think a lot of comedians are just being fannies. And this is a bit of a thread on my show, actually, if there is one. That a lot of the time when comedians complain about being cancelled, nothing has actually happened. All that happens is some people have complained on Twitter, and you've gained more publicity. And it really annoys when people are really disingenuous about it. I'm being silenced. No, you're fucking not.
I don't know. We'll go to more. So I was it Alistair Williams? I don't know. He's not supposed to be getting the bookings. I think he's sick.
He's a really good comic. I'm not one to be spouting things about other comics in public as well, especially ones who are here. I think Alistair's had his issues, but I like the guy and I hope he's alright.
Okay, I think he's a wicked comic.
Yeah, he is, man. He is. There's been a lot going on there. But yeah, like, I wish nothing but the best.
I'm not ingrained enough in the echelons to know yet.
Yeah. Well, listen, I don't really like talking about
that's fine. That's fine. That's what I was saying.
You know, like anyone's willing to DM me, and I'll call anyone a cunt. But no, like, I genuinely do get on with Alistair. Like, he's a good lad. But yeah, he has been slightly ostracised a bit now, but I think, like what I would say is, I think some of that is self-inflicted. You know, some of it is like he's made choices and kicked back against people, and like made himself not the easiest person to book, because there is the possibility that there's going to be a fucking argument and drama, and it's not necessarily because of his political views, but it's down to the fact that there might be like a kick-off because he's quite highly strung, and like other people are highly strung. It's not just him. So there's him, and then there'll be some like left-wing highly strung person in a green room, and I think bookers will just go, I'll just book someone who's not hassle. I think that's what it comes down to a lot of the time.
Fuck, man, it's a rough game, man.
Yeah, it is, but Alistair's doing really well by himself, and he's like, you know, he's putting on his own shows, and he's doing his own live streams, and this is the thing.
Yeah.
This is the thing. Even if like the mainstream fucks you off now, that can be even better for you. And Alistair's killing it.
Yeah, watch your shit.
Yeah, this is it, man. It's not like he's like someone who's like not got a chance to do his own thing, and like you can't. With this sort of stuff, it's like I don't think you can both be in the mainstream and like
anti-mainstream
and anti-mainstream. This is it. And like, you know, if the mainstream don't want you, fucking good. Like the mainstream comedy industry don't really want me. I'm a club comedian. I work in clubs, no bother. But when it comes to like the TV intro, they couldn't give a shit. But I don't care. I've got the internet. Like, you know, I'll make my own stuff. I'll bypass them. Fuck it. So like, and that's what Alice is doing. I think a lot of other people are doing that, and I respect it and I like it. I like seeing people putting on their own hustle.
Yeah, I like that with this sort of generation, the access to the technology that we have. Like, I started this podcast on £100.
This is it. You can just start it with fucking nothing. Look at Mo Gilligan. He started filming himself on his phone. He's got a Netflix special now. He's touring massive. Kay Kane is killing it. Like, you know, endless people.
Yeah, that's a special I need to check out.
Mate, like Kay's special's really good. He's a really good mate of mine, Kay, and he's just killing it at the moment.
I haven't met him yet, but I've seen him obviously.
He's a great lad. He's really funny. I went to Amsterdam with him a couple of weeks ago with a few of the lads, and yeah, it was great. Like, he's a really good lad, and he's smashing it now. But he's got that drive and that hunger and that self-determination. That's what really makes comics now.
Yeah, man. When I went up to Edinburgh for the first time last year, and the scale of it was like, wow. Like, it was done, and I was like, wow, like this is how big the comedy industry is.
Yeah, man. Because like all of it's there, and like then a lot of people who aren't in it as well turn up to try and be part of it.
Yeah.
And like, but yeah, it is overwhelming a bit at first, but then you just realise you just got to carve out your own little niche, and it doesn't fucking matter what anyone else is doing. And I couldn't give a flying fuck. Like, I'm genuinely happy for other people if they get like a TV thing or whatever. Cool. It doesn't take anything from me.
Yeah.
And, like, there is no scarcity anymore because we all have access to the internet, and there's enough internet for fucking everyone. Like,
yeah, that's a good saying. Like, yeah, you find your followers, find your crowd.
Find exactly the right people who like you. What is slightly annoying is it turns out the people who like me, a lot of them are pricks. I am joking, but like they are fuckheads. That's my audience.
I felt that with myself. I was like, I got like a stoner audience. You know how hard it is to get a bunch of stoners to come out.
Nice. Tell me about it. Like, tell me about it.
Like, like everyone.
Like, my audience are like half stoners, half pissheads. So like they'll either like not turn up or turn up with like a tray of shots. Like, absolutely smashed. But that is fun, man. Like you know, you attract your own people, don't you?
Okay. Next topic.
Yeah.
What do you think about the scrapping the BBC licence fee if that comes into play?
Like. Right, I've gone back and forwards on this because I've always loved the BBC as an institution. I've always just had a warmth towards it. I've always just liked the BBC.
How patriotic of you.
Well, yeah, it's like the only patriotic thing I have really is that I really like the BBC and the NHS. That's about it. Yeah, but I've always really liked it, and like there are certain things that the BBC does well that other companies won't do. So I would like it to continue, but the arguments for it are becoming harder and harder to justify, and like. In this modern internet age, I don't know if there is really a place for it. Like certainly not a mandatory thing. Like the mandatory payment fucks me off because it just means poor people get criminalised for trying to have a bit of entertainment. Like that pisses me off.
I've already got council tax. What is this?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like it's and being state funded has had a lot of benefits, but I feel like the main one, or what it's been really good for culturally always, BBC, is that because there's no adverts, it means that our TV isn't like American TV, where there's an advert every 10 seconds. Because if a channel did that, everyone would go, I'll just watch BBC, there's no adverts. But now we've got Netflix to perform that role, it's hard to justify it.
Yeah, and with the BBC, they always try to have sort of content for everyone sort of within their remit. But then again, I don't watch the BBC much now, but like, I don't have a TV licence and I'm not getting one. So if I'm at someone's house, I might catch up a little bit. But I've got Netflix and other services, and it's more so because it became less vital. I was like, anything you need, I was like, oh, you've got a news reporter who talks in this classic sort of pronunciation way. And I was like, I can go on YouTube and find a guy who speaks in a way that I like, who will deliver the news content in a way that's entertaining. And it'll be the same, not the same information, it might have a slightly more honest narrative than the BBC, but that's...
Yeah, like I think that's a shame. I think there's a shame that the BBC have lost people like that, and like also like I feel like shutting down BBC Three was a step towards that.
The youth, because that was the youth channel.
Exactly, it was a channel that was specifically for young people and often working class people and often non-white people, and they were given a chance on that channel. And like I really like BBC Four. I think they do some amazing stuff. They do a lot of very boring, pretentious white people, middle class shit though. And like that was never in danger, but the young people stuff, the working class people stuff, that's what gets fucked off. And like that's when it's the problem with it being mandatory is it makes it really political. It makes it this huge argument. Like if it becomes a voluntary subscription, immediately we lose all these arguments on Twitter about it being impartial, right? Because like I don't know, mate, I can go on forever about this, but like I think like the impartiality. Is bullshit on the BBC, because their version of impartiality will be we'll get one person from each side of the argument, but the argument might be 98% of people on one side and 2% on the other, but they'll still have one from each. So you'll have a climate scientist and some fucking moron who doesn't believe in climate science, and they'll argue, and like they look like they're on an even footing, but like their points are not valid. Or you'll get a racist arguing with someone who's not a racist, and like they're equal points.
I was watching someone else's special the other day. I think it was Darren Griffiths, and he was doing a bit about this, about like who they picked to represent us on the panel shows. I won't spoil his bit, but it's, he's going to be a future guest anyway, so he'll tell you about it. But man. So with the BBC, I haven't watched it in years. I do used to love some stuff, but I always thought that our drama content never matched the levels of American television. The grandiose levels of HBO, the Sopranos,
how cinematic it is.
It's cinematic. And also, I think the level of violence and sex that you're allowed to show on their television versus what you're allowed to show over here.
Yeah, there's definitely an element of that, and I think like there's better actors in America. Like BBC dramas always got shit actors. I've got some Holby City cunt. Like, fucking.
There's only so many of us.
Yeah, this is it, man. We're limited. People from all around the world go to America to be actors. So.
You know, it's funny, people tell me it's a sin. I'm from Birmingham, obviously, most of you will know that. I'm from Birmingham anyway, and I do not watch Peaky Blinders.
Oh, I've never watched it, man.
In my hometown, like, they've built up some sort of new culture around it. You know, like
but it's such a lame culture though, isn't it? Like, there's nothing more boring than a Peaky Blinders cult. Like, when you see them out on town with the flat cap on,
we are the Peaky. My dad bought me one of them hats. What up, Pops? I didn't wear the hat.
No, don't, man. Honestly, like it's so bleak and just.
It is, but it's nice that people have a thing. It's like a new dad culture thing. It's like, you know what I mean?
But like,
we're being all fucking trendy. It's like, you like your normal people television.
Most people are fucking basic. Like, I'm sorry that I'm more interesting. Like, it's my job to be interested.
That's true. That's a good point.
But obviously, enjoy what you enjoy.
Yes.
I can still snark at you, fuck off.
Indeed. There's a saying from a rapper, Cool G Rap, which I've always liked, and it was like...
I'm well aware of Cool G.
Oh, you know Cool G, you're a hip-hop man?
Yeah, man.
Okay.
Pretty much all I listen to.
So. Wicked. So I used to rap before I did comedy stuff. Yeah, I used to battle.
I'm a part-time battle rapper.
Sick.
Yeah, I'm actually alright, man. I beat Shuffle T.
Oh, yo, I seen that you and Leo Curse was having a battle and stuff. I know Leo.
That's on the BBC. It's fucking shit.
I haven't watched it yet.
No, well, the BBC... Actually, pertinent to what we were talking about, the BBC edited our battle and ruined it. It's dog shit. They cut it all to shit. Anyway.
Alright, I've got a plan to give that a watch. Who won?
Oh mate, by a mile I won.
Okay.
Mate, at the end of the battle, they're like, give me a cheer if you think Leo won, and the only noise is me laughing.
So what were you saying about Cool G Rap?
There's a quote from Cool G Rap,
Yeah.
and he said that you can only be entertained to the level of your intellect. So some people will see a television program that's quite bad, think it's the best entertainment
sure.
they've ever seen. You can take them to the theatre or the opera or something that's got, you know, some depth to it, and then think it's shit, basically.
I mean, I'm like that when I go to the theatre.
Yeah, to be fair,
fair.
I'm not gonna. But that's the example that.
No, I know what you mean, man. Yeah.
Sophisticated.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I can see that.
Oh, here's an interesting premise. So before, on Facebook, they used to be able to do polls. I think you can only do them in groups now.
Right.
And then I wasn't sure if that was going to be, because like maybe with all the different election cycles coming up and political divisiveness, like if you can ask a question to just the general people, and you're not really making a statement politically either way, you're not saying anything.
Sure.
Just the votes are going to come in. The votes are going to say what they're saying,
Yeah.
and this won't be people's opinion on whatever topic this is.
Yeah.
And that sort of thing got removed. And occasionally, I used to do little ones about morality. So I'd come up with a premise, and all the people reading it, and I'd be like, "Would you do this or not do this?" Choice B. And one of them was about capital punishment.
Right.
And it was like, if they brought back capital punishment in the UK, like, I'm sure most of the people take this. I know what answer you're going to give. You're probably going to give the nice people answer. But on the internet, people were honest where they could hide behind their profile pictures. But anyway, so they brought back capital punishment. The way they do it is going to be a firing squad. There are 5 people on this firing squad. Only one of the guns has live ammunition.
Right.
Each person would be paid £300,000. You would do this once a year. You would all walk into the chamber. You do not know who this person is. You know that they've been convicted of a heinous crime. They are guilty. You don't know what it is, but they are guilty. It's not an innocent person. You all pull the trigger at the same time. Only one of the guns has got live rounds. You don't know which of you killed the man. You do that once a year for £300,000 for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
And you'll never know if you fired the killing shot
Sure.
or who the person is. Could you take that job and sleep at night? Or would you take the job? Could you take the job?
I would not take the job.
You would not take
I would not take. Firstly, because my job's fucking excellent. Like, I've got a great life. I'm a fucking professional comedian. Don't get better than that. But even if I wasn't, right, I genuinely don't think I would. Right, I'm too anti-establishment.
Okay.
Right, I wouldn't want to be an agent of the state in that way, and I don't trust the state to adequately prove if someone is guilty or not. There have been too many false convictions, and like. Knowing what I know about the justice system, like just from watching fucking Netflix documentaries, there's no way I could ever be happy with it, and there's no way I would ever be able to get that thought out of my head. And like, there's no way. Look, like I've been poor and I've done some shit for money, but like,
what have you done for money, right?
like,
Day for pay?
Oh, mate, not quite.
Strange for change?
No one will pay.
Veg for cash?
I would. I don't know. Look, I've been broke enough that I'm sure I would do it once. But I definitely wouldn't want to make it a career, man. That'd be too much for me. By the way, like, I still run polls on Twitter, but it's just when people are having arguments, I just run polls to see who people think has the bigger dick. Anytime someone has an argument on Twitter, I just put, who do you think's got the biggest dick? It's really funny. Just people who are having an argument already get proper pissed. But no, I'm not saying I'm. It's the thing is, 300 grand is a perfect amount of money where it's like. Oof.
That's why I picked it because I was like, because originally I was doing this premise with my friends and they're all broke, so I said 100 grand.
Yes.
And then I was kicking it with some doctors and some scientists,
Yeah,
and I said 100 grand, and they were like, I want 75 grand.
Yeah,
it
really depends on where you are in life, and I've been all over the shop. Like, look, if you'd caught me a decade ago, maybe even like 4 years ago, I'd been like, oh, fucking give me that gun. But like now,
I'm not saying that I would have done it. I just like to ask the questions.
Sure. There's definitely times where I would have done it, but now, luckily, I wouldn't have to, so I wouldn't.
It's interesting to see what people will do for money.
Yeah, I'm not very money oriented, to be honest. If I've got enough to not be panicking about it, I'm cool.
I'm not either.
Yeah.
I've always been like. I wouldn't say a hippie. I said a hippie, but my sister says I'm too angry to be a hippie.
I'm like
but
an angry hippie as well. I know what you mean, man. Like, I'm peace and love unless someone's a prick.
Yeah. So with that sort of stuff, like, I've never wanted to like be flashy or have like to ball out, if you will. I just wanted to be good at my craft of whatever I wanted
That's
to do.
it, man. That's what's important to me, man. And like, I can't keep track of money anyway. Like, I'm ADHD as fuck, so I don't really know how much money I've got. It's like, as long as I've not got people calling me for bills, if I can answer the door without being worried it's a bailiff, like, then my life's good. You know?
I appreciate that sentiment, and but then I know other people are like, no, I need the most grip. But that, fair enough, if that's your thing. I was like,
yeah, it's just never been a driver for me. Like, look, don't be right.
I would love to be, you know, balling, but if I'm not, I'm alright with it. Like, I'm comfortable, which is for the first time in my life.
well, he's a master in his craft, and he's been.
I won't go that far, but I'm fucking great.
He is good. I'm gonna watch that rap battle.
Watch the one against Shuffle T. It's actually good.
Okay,
Yeah.
Where's Shuffle T from?
Shuffle T. He's from London, I think, but he's one of the best battle rappers in the country. He's like legitimately brilliant.
Alright, I'll check him out. Yeah, man, I've been out in the UK hip hop scene for a bit, not checking in, but I will check in.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming on the show, Rob.
Absolute pleasure.
Absolute G, lovely to meet you.
Thank you, man. Absolute pleasure. Thank you very much.
Thanks, brother.